Thousands of people fall for cyber scams every day, and many are afraid to admit it happened to them. But we found one group brave enough to tell their stories: our parents. They learned the hard way, so you don't have to. This is Mom Don't Click That. Hey everybody, welcome back to Mom Don't Click That. We're a show where I bring in security professionals and their parents, and they tell us stories about these hidden dangers lurking out there on the internet. I have two wonderful guests today that I'm very excited to meet. Marc, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Marc Vasquez, and I'm a security awareness professional for a financial company here in Kansas City. And I have a great story, hopefully, that the listeners will enjoy about my mom, who's with us today, too.
I'm very excited to meet your mom. So, Delene, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Delene Vasquez. I'm a retired medical technologist, and I'm Marc's mom.
Wonderful things to be. Well, I'm really excited to hear about this story today. So, Delene, will you start us off and tell us what happened?
Well, I normally don't click on numbers on my phone numbers on my cell phone that I don't know who they are. But I was in the process of setting up a cruise. And so when this number popped up, I was assuming it was probably the cruise guy calling me back. And so I clicked on it. Well, it was a guy who was really, really concerned about me because he said that they had been monitoring our internet, and that our internet had now changed from private to public. And this was very dangerous because somebody could get on my internet and it would just be awful. And he was from AT&T, and AT&T was monitoring this. And I said, but our internet comes through CenturyLink. We don't have AT&T anymore. And he said, oh, well, we're the parent company and we take care of them and that we're doing this. He says, check your phone, check your internet on your phone. And so I did, and it said public. So he was taking me through all this stuff. He even showed me a folder he got into, the private files of AT&T, and he shows me this folder of this Russian guy that supposedly was using my internet because I had clicked on something. I clicked on something and had given this guy access to my internet. And so this was something really bad. And, I mean, he was extremely nice, extremely kind, extremely helpful. The next morning, I called my son and I said, Marc, guess what? I really dodged a bullet yesterday. And I'm telling him all about this, and he said, Mom, that doesn't sound right.
Marc, I have not actually heard this one of the internet is open for this Russian guy. So when you got brought in to let your mom know that she hadn't actually dodged the bullet all the way, it might have gotten her a little bit. What was your initial reaction?
This feels weird. Like, that's not something that happens. And I said, well, I don't think that CenturyLink is owned by AT&T. Let me check. So I did a Google search and found out they are not. And I said, I don't know that that's necessarily who was calling you, because one thing she did not mention is that there was a charge of $90, I believe, that Carlos, the individual who was helping, in this situation, charged her. And so that was what made me also think that possibly this was a bit of a long con, where maybe after a while they would begin siphoning money down the road. These tech support folks do come across as very helpful. And I've seen countless numbers of videos where, these poor individuals on the other side, and they're saying, thank you so much for helping me. And they have no idea that they've actually been taken for possibly even, small and then bigger sums of money down the road.
Then what are the red flags that maybe we should have been looking out for? Is it just as simple as somebody calling you was already suspicious, or was there the AT&T issue? Like, what part should the red flags be going up?
The reason these tech support scams have so much success is because here's this white knight that's coming in to help you in your time of need with this problem. And so the red flag for me initially is that I've never had any support technician person call me to do anything like that. In fact, we've been warned by quite a few folks. Obviously, I'm in security, so we know a little bit more about this from the day-to-day standpoint. But I get emails too that say, we will never contact you, like the IRS and entities like that. But yeah, I think too, though, what we see with older generations as well as millennials is that they are very trusting, and that they believe that by and large, when someone is calling with information like that, they're thankful. Like 9 times out of 10, they're extremely thankful, regardless of what the situation that happens afterwards is. But, 9 times out of 10, it's a situation where something that's fairly benign or that appears to be fairly benign has been clicked on or has been opened up some sort of attachment. And it really generally doesn't seem like anything much. And then what happens is that that's a foothold for the social engineers to get into, whether it's through a text message, generally links and attachments of some sort. It could be, a video or something like that. And I'm gathering that's what happened. And they were able to then remote in through something like that. Again, that probably looked more like a system operation that would normally happen on our laptop that was happening behind the scenes. So once that happened and took effect, then they were able to basically say, we've remoted in to show you this because we want to show validity, when what they've actually done is remoted in under deceptive pretenses.
So you're saying that this is like a multi-stage hack where they've gotten into her system and then they've also gotten her phone and called her under those circumstances and then used the combined data of that to narrowly target the perfect sales pitch. That is elaborate.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. The beautiful thing about, I say that sarcastically, about social engineering is that the tricks and tactics don't have to ever change, because we always seem to fall for them. And like you said, they will piece and parcel those things together. So, I might buy a batch of social security numbers, and I might then parlay that with some phone numbers. And then when I put them together, it adds validity. Fortunately, this individual gave my mom not only the number that they called from, which showed up on her phone, but then also another number to call back to. So I put both of those in the FTC report that I made online, because what they're doing is definitely, figuring out a lot of where these scams and people are originating from. And every little bit of data counts to help them with their endeavors. They're on your side versus, these scammers who are posing as whomever they might be.
In addition to social choices of not clicking on stuff, should we still be using antivirus protection? Is there what levels of service? I don't hear about them as often as I used to.
Sure. It's a great question. And it's one question I get a lot too. I had a physician ask me the other day who said, okay, you're in security. What's the one thing that people don't know, like that they really should know? And I said, do you have antivirus on your mobile device? And he said, no, why would I need that?
No,
and I said, well, how often do you use that in comparison to your laptop? And he was like, this is attached to my hand. I said, so if that's attached to your hand, and yet you have things that are going on, you're probably using public Wi-Fi on occasion, you're traveling, and just letting whatever go in and out of there, making even the most benign of transaction. And yet there it is, open for the world to see. That is, antivirus is a huge thing we need, not only on our devices, but our kids' devices, our parents' devices. You definitely need to have antivirus on pretty much any mobile device that you're using, as well as your workstation or laptop.
Oh, I'm really glad I asked, because I definitely don't have that on my phone either.